So we've got our Ubuntu server set up with everything we need, and we need to set up our actual Moodle installation. So we've got a couple things we have to do. Since we've got it set up, I'm going to go to computer, and I'm going to the var folder, and I'm going to the www folder, and we see the HTML, and inside there is where we're going to put Moodle itself, but outside of there is where we're going to put two new folders that's going to hold our Moodle stuff. So I'm going to make one called Moodle Data, and I'm going to make one called, which you don't have to do, Moodle Backups, which is where the backups will go when Moodle does its archival backups on whatever schedule you set up. So those two folders need to be set up ahead of time. And I'm going to go ahead and set the permissions on those folders so that we have write access for Moodle, which we need in order for Moodle to get set. Now, if you're using the Google Drive, we're in step 2 in Moodle installation, and right now we're using this Moodle installation document to guide us as well. And look at that, bad timing. Moodle.org is doing scheduled maintenance, but I have the download from yesterday, so I'm just going to go grab that. So I went to my other server and I downloaded the latest copy of Moodle 3.5, which is the long-term service release. Moodle has gone to a new thing where they release a version and support it for 3 years and then come up with another long-term release. And we have gone to a thing of only doing the long-term service releases instead of chasing releases. So I only upgrade every 3 years now to the current version of Moodle. So I've got it here. I'm going to go ahead and right-click and extract it here. It's going to extract it to a folder called Moodle. And then I'm going to throw the contents of that entire Moodle folder in to this HTML folder. I'm going to delete the index one and drop it in there. And now, if I go to my web address, which is 127.0.0.1, or to the one I found on ifconfig, it is going to bring me right into the Moodle installation. So the actual installation is pretty easy. Yes, I'm using English. Next. Confirm my paths. I'm going to var HTML. It's going to www.moodle data, which are the ones we just made. If I want to use the actual IP address, which I would, if I was setting this up for real, I would use the 10.66.4.122, which is not letting me change, so I'll change and show you where to change that later. I'm going to say next. Going to use the default improve MySQL database. Next. Okay, so here's the database host. Right now is localhost. The name is not Moodle, it's Moodle demo. We put that in there. The database user was the one we put in there, so Moodle user. And our password that we put in there was Moodle password. Obviously, we would use much better than this. In the prefixes here, we're not going to worry about these two down here, but in the prefixes, MDL is the default. This prefix, if you do more than one installation, like we have 2 sandboxes as well of our normal one, that has to be different on each one, or it will totally mess things up. You'll kind of authenticate to the wrong one, and it'll kind of be goofy. So you don't want to do that. You want to just go ahead and leave that, or in my case, I change it for which one. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say next. If all those things we set up were right, and we opened up the folder with the command on there that I did, the change mod -R777, that changed everything inside the www folder to read write access. Then, if I did all that right, it should come through and say, hey, everything's ready to go. Confirm you read and understand, you blah, blah, blah. Continue. It's going to say, should say okay on everything other than we're not using HTTPS. On this, and that's because we did all those extensions in the beginning to make sure all those other ones would be okay. So it meets our requirements. We're going to say continue, and it's now setting up all the database folders for Moodle, and it's still going. These are all the database tables that are just set up. I'm scrolled down the bottom and I say continue. And now it's going to ask me some stuff for my initial setup. this is me. So who do I want to set up as admin? I'm going to leave it admin, admin user. I'm going to have to put in some kind of an email. You can see these ones with the asterisk fields. I have to set up a password, and it has password requirements there that I have to meet. We're going to be able to turn this off later for our users so that whatever you've got, mine is connected to my Active Directory, so whatever the Active Directory password is would just be passed into Moodle, so I'm not really putting my password requirements here. They're set up on my Active Directory. So let's see, we're going to type to enter tag. We're going to say Moodle admin, which is, I know, a terrible one for this. And let's see, email address. And I can set up some basic user stuff. I want to hide my address from everybody. Yep. Put city, town. I can put United States in here if I want to. Time zone still New York. Okay, so I've got my profile set up for the admin user, except for I missed something. Oh, I didn't meet the password requirement. Moodle admin. Oh, I didn't want to say at. I'm going to say pound. Let's see if that meets my password requirements now. I still didn't. What did I miss? Oh, I did. I gotta have an uppercase. Hopefully I don't forget that, but of course I'm recording. Okay, so now I've got my stuff for my front page site. This is the name for my school, so I'm going to put as a short name, or full name, I might put National Trail Moodle, and I could just put Moodle here, or NTLS, whatever I want to put there. I don't have to put a big summary in there. And I do have self-registration disabled, so I'm going to save. And now I'm at my new Moodle site. And now we come to the configuration part of Moodle. But Moodle is now, excuse me, installed. Now's when I start going through and setting up what I want it to look like, how I want it to behave, and that's step 3 of the Moodle configuration.